Long before men had words, elves grew great in the wondrous land of Evergreen. Tall were the trees of Evergreen, and bountiful were its forests. Our wild brothers gave us good sport, and honoured us with their deaths on our arrows. There we first learned the way of the forest, and how to share the forest's bounty with all of its peoples. We were content. But in far land, a world away, the evil empire of Blackmoor grew and reached out its tentacles to embrace all lands. When the fat, merchant priests of Blackmoor arrived on the shores of Evergreen, the elven people were amazed and delighted. In our foolishness, we welcomed them with open arms, but the men of Blackmoor sold more than goods. They sold ideas, bright ideas whose core was corruption. The wisdom of the elven sages was overcome with these ideas, and they began to practice the black arts taught by these interlopers from afar. The products of these arts were indeed fair, but the practice of them was foul. They turned the forests of Evergreen into foulness. The wisest amongst us fled far from those foul arts, seeking lands untainted by the vileness of Blackmoor, and by that was the elven race saved. Soon the gods stepped down and punished Evergreen with the rain of fire, even as Blackmoor was punished. The earth moved with the sun and the moon, and the ice came down from the mountains and would not leave. Those elves who were not lost in the rain of fire met again in the land once called Grunland, in what men now call the southern continent. Yet even there was the blasphemy of Blackmoor to be felt. Undaunted by the punishment of the gods, falsely wise elves of that place wished to continue practice of those vile arts which had brought Evergreen low. Ilsundal, wisest of our forebears, would not hear them. He gathered together the faithful, those who knew the ways of their grandfathers and would not listen to corrupted sages, and led them northward to the wild continent. When Evergreen was in its glory, there had been only the snows of winter in this wild land, but tales now told of sun and grass and trees. The toils and travails of that long march were great, and the losses to our people terrible. Nevertheless, they found a fair forested land in the north and settled there, calling it the Sylvan Realm. And then Ilsundal became an immortal paragon, a god of the elves, whose love for his people was so great that he left us the Tree of Life. The fair Sylvan Realm grew great under the branches of that sacred tree, but there came a time after many tens of springs when the Sylvan land could no longer hold all the hunters and all the magics of the elves. Looking out of the sheltering forest, the elves found too many humans and their earth-slaying orcs surrounding the forest. Another path from the Sylvan Realm would have to be found for our pioneers. And from amongst the wisest of our leaders, there came Mystara Starwatcher, who found the path of the rainbow. He gathered about him those clans who would seek a new land and prayed to Ilsundal for guidance. To each clan, Ilsundal gave a daughter of the one tree to become that clan's tree of life. Thus gifted, Mystara led the elves over the rainbow path to their new home. The newfound home was also full of forest-slaying humans. Undaunted, the clans moved ever northward until they found the barren steppes that lay between the Altan Tepe Mountains and the Rockholm Mountains. Neither man, halfling nor dwarf wanted these barren lands, but wise Mystara saw their promise. The wizards of the elves gathered together. For years, great ceremonies were performed. Finally, the earth moved, the storm clouds strayed from their customary path, and the waters of heaven poured into Alfheim. Now we are great among the nations. Though unlike our neighbors, we do not meddle in others' affairs. Our armies are feared everywhere. Since the Sylvan realm was stolen from Elven dominion, we are now the true home of the elves of the world.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, hit the sub button and let me know what you think in the comments below. Catch you on the next one.